Question 1. A homeowner, MS Thompson, has a standard HO3 policy. Recently, her basement flooded due to heavy rains, resulting in significant damage to her finished basement and personal belongings. What should MS Thompson consider when filing a claim for this loss? A. The damage is covered under the standard policy without any exclusions. B. She should first check if she has a flood endorsement added to her policy. C. Homeowners policies automatically cover all types of water damage. D. She can file a claim for the damage but will not be reimbursed for any personal items. Answer B. Explanation. MS Thompson should check if she has a flood endorsement because standard HO3 policies typically do not cover flood damage. According to the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, homeowners must purchase separate flood insurance to be protected against flood-related losses. Understanding the specific endorsements and exclusions in her policy is crucial to determine what is covered. What personal property may be covered. It is contingent on the cause of loss. Water damage from flooding is not covered unless specified in the policy. Question 2. Which of the following statements is true regarding liability coverage under a homeowner's policy? A. Liability coverage only protects the homeowner against damages caused to others on their property. B. Personal liability coverage does not cover incidents occurring off the insured property. C. Medical payments coverage is included to help cover the costs of injuries sustained by guests, regardless of fault. D. Liability coverage is optional and not required in any homeowner's insurance policy. Answer C. Explanation. Medical payments coverage is indeed included in homeowners' policies to cover the costs of injuries sustained by guests, regardless of fault. This type of coverage provides a no-fault option for minor injuries, which can help prevent lawsuits. On the other hand, liability coverage protects against claims for bodily injury or property damage to others caused by the insured or their family members. It's essential to understand that liability coverage is typically part of a standard homeowner's policy, but limits and specifics can vary. Therefore, while liability coverage is generally included, consumers should always review their policy for details. Question 3. Scenario-based. Mr. Jenkins recently purchased a new home and is considering different insurance options. He is particularly worried about potential theft and damage to high-value personal items such as jewelry and art. What should Mr. Jenkins do to ensure adequate coverage for these items under his homeowner's policy? A. Rely solely on the personal property coverage provided in the standard homeowner's policy. B. Purchase a separate policy for jewelry and art to ensure full coverage. C. Request a scheduled personal property endorsement to cover high-value items. D. Assume that personal property coverage will be sufficient as long as he has receipts for his items. Answer C. Explanation. Mr. Jenkins should request a scheduled personal property endorsement to cover his high-value items adequately. Standard homeowners' policies have limits on personal property coverage, especially for specific categories like jewelry, art, and collectibles. By scheduling these items, he can ensure they are covered for their full appraised value, even if they exceed standard limits. It's important for homeowners to assess their specific needs and consider endorsements for valuable possessions, as relying solely on general coverage can lead to significant gaps in protection. Question 4. Which of the following is true regarding the loss of use coverage under a homeowner's insurance policy? A. It covers the cost of repairs to the dwelling after a loss. B. It compensates for additional living expenses incurred when the home is uninhabitable. C. It only applies if the homeowner has temporary housing insurance. D. It is limited to a specific percentage of the dwelling coverage amount. Answer B. Explanation. Loss of use coverage, also known as additional living expenses, compensates homeowners for extra costs incurred when their home is uninhabitable due to a covered loss. This can include hotel bills, restaurant meals, and other necessary expenses while repairs are made. It is crucial for homeowners to understand that this coverage is not limited to a specific percentage, but rather is dependent on the policy's terms and limits. Options A, C, and D are incorrect because loss of use does not cover the repair costs directly or depend solely on temporary housing insurance. Question 5. In North Carolina, what is a critical requirement for homeowners' insurance policies regarding liability coverage? A. They must include a minimum of $300,000 in personal liability coverage. B. They cannot include medical payments coverage unless specifically requested. C. They must provide coverage for any damage caused by pets owned by the insured. D. They may exclude coverage for intentional acts by the insured. Answer D. Explanation. Homeowners insurance policies generally exclude coverage for intentional acts by the insured. This means if the homeowner intentionally causes damage or harm, the insurance policy will not cover those claims. While it is common for policies to include minimum liability limits, as in option A, those amounts are not mandated by law. Similarly, while many policies provide medical payments coverage, it is often a standard feature rather than an optional one. Option B, and coverage for damages caused by pets can vary. Option C. Understanding these exclusions is essential for homeowners to avoid surprises during claims. Question 6. Which of the following is considered a risk reduction strategy that homeowners can implement? A. Increasing the deductible on their homeowner's policy. B. Installing a home security system. C. Purchasing the minimum required coverage. D. Ignoring home maintenance issues until they escalate. Answer: B. Explanation: installing a home security system is a proactive risk reduction strategy that can significantly decrease the likelihood of theft or damage, thereby reducing potential claims and possibly leading to lower insurance premiums. Increasing the deductible, option A, may lower premiums but does not directly reduce risk. It simply shifts more financial responsibility to the homeowner. Purchasing minimum coverage, option C, may leave the homeowner vulnerable in the event of a loss, and ignoring maintenance issues, option D, can lead to greater risks and potential claims. Question 7. A homeowner's policy excludes coverage for certain types of damage. Which of the following perils is most likely to be excluded from a standard homeowner's policy? A. Fire damage to the home. B. Theft of personal property. C. Flood damage to the basement. D. Vandalism of the exterior property. Answer: C. Explanation. Flood damage is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies unless the homeowner has purchased a separate flood insurance policy or an endorsement specifically covering flood damage. Fire damage, option A, theft, option B, and vandalism, option D, are generally covered perils under most homeowners policies, although they may have specific limitations or conditions. Understanding these exclusions is essential for homeowners to ensure they have adequate coverage for potential risks. Question 8. Which of the following statements best describes the importance of the declarations page in a homeowner's insurance policy? A. It outlines the coverage limits and deductibles applicable to the policy. B. It serves as the legal contract between the insurer and the insured. C. It provides detailed descriptions of covered perils under the policy. D. It lists the underwriting criteria used to assess the risk of the insured. Answer A. Explanation. The declarations page is critical as it outlines the coverage limits, deductibles, insured property, and the premium amount for the policy. It acts as a summary of the key details and terms of the policy, while the declarations page does not serve as the legal contract. Option B, or detail covered perils. Option C, it is essential for understanding what is covered and at what limits. The underwriting criteria are typically not detailed in the declarations page, but rather in the policy conditions or underwriting documents. Option D. Question 9. Mr. Smith has just moved to North Carolina and wants to understand the implications of local hazards on his homeowner's insurance policy. Which of the following should Mr. Smith consider? A. North Carolina has a low risk of natural disasters, so homeowners insurance is generally inexpensive. B. Flooding is a common risk, and he should consider purchasing flood insurance even if it's not mandatory. C. Homeowners insurance will automatically cover any damage caused by local hazards without additional premiums. D. He can disregard state-specific requirements as long as he has a standard policy from any insurer. Answer B. Explanation. Mr. Smith should consider purchasing flood insurance, as flooding is a significant risk in many parts of North Carolina, particularly in coastal areas. Standard homeowners policies do not cover flood damage, and the state often faces hurricane-related flooding. While North Carolina may have low risks for certain disasters, this does not mean homeowners insurance will be inexpensive. Option A. Coverage for damage from local hazards is not automatically included in standard policies. Option C, and he must adhere to state-specific requirements regardless of the insurer. Option D. Question 10. What is a significant benefit of having a higher deductible on a homeowner's insurance policy? A. It guarantees low premiums without affecting coverage limits. B. It reduces the overall cost of insurance, as higher deductibles typically lead to low premiums. C. It ensures that the homeowner will not need to pay out of pocket for small claims. D. It automatically increases the coverage limits provided in the policy. Answer B. Explanation. A significant benefit of having a higher deductible is that it generally reduces the overall cost of insurance, since insurers often lower premiums for policies with higher deductibles. However, while higher deductibles can lead to lower premiums, They also mean that the homeowner must pay more out of pocket for claims, which can be a risk for smaller claims option is misleading. The deductible does not ensure coverage for small claims option C, nor does it increase coverage limits option D. Understanding the balance between premiums and deductibles is crucial for effective insurance planning. Question 11. Which of the following factors is most likely to influence the premium amount for a homeowner's insurance policy? A. The age of the insured's personal belongings. B. The location of the property, including local crime rates and environmental risks. C. The homeowner's employment history. D. The number of family members residing in the household. Answer: B. Explanation: the location of the property significantly influences the premium amount for homeowners insurance. Insurers assess local crime rates, the likelihood of natural disasters such as hurricanes or floods, and proximity to fire services. Higher risks lead to increased premiums, while personal belongings age option A might have some impact on coverage value. It does not directly affect premium calculations. Employment history option C and household size option D are generally less relevant in determining homeowners' insurance premiums. Question 12. When evaluating coverage needs for personal property, what is the primary consideration for homeowners? A. The total cost of all items in the home. B. The replacement cost versus actual cash value of belongings. C. The original purchase price of high value items. D. The average market value of homes in the neighborhood. Answer: B. Explanation: the primary consideration for homeowners when evaluating coverage needs for personal property is whether to insure items at replacement cost or actual cash value. Replacement cost provides coverage to replace items without deducting for depreciation, while actual cash value considers depreciation, resulting in low payout amounts. This distinction is critical in determining adequate coverage. Total costs option A and original purchase prices option C do not reflect current replacement needs, and neighborhood values option D are irrelevant to individual property insurance requirements. Question 13. Which of the following is a common exclusion found in most homeowners' insurance policies? A. Damage caused by fire. B. Losses from a flood. C. Vandalism to the property. D. Theft of personal property. Answer: B. Explanation: most homeowners' insurance policies commonly exclude losses from floods unless the homeowner has a separate flood insurance policy or an endorsement. Fire damage option A, vandalism option C, and theft option D are generally covered perils, though they may have specific limitations. Understanding these exclusions is vital for homeowners to ensure they obtain necessary coverage through additional policies as required. Question 14. Mr. and Mrs. Davis are considering adding an endorsement to their homeowner's insurance policy for their valuable artwork. Which of the following statements is true regarding this endorsement? A. It will automatically cover all types of damage to the artwork without any limits. B. It may provide coverage for theft and accidental damage, but typically has specific limits. C. It is unnecessary if the artwork is already covered under personal property limits. D. It guarantees full reimbursement for any loss regardless of the circumstances. Answer: B. Explanation: an endorsement for valuable items like artwork typically provides additional coverage for theft and accidental damage, but it usually comes with specific limits on the amount covered. Standard personal property limits may not adequately protect high-value items, making endorsements important. While endorsements enhance coverage, they do not guarantee coverage for all circumstances or total reimbursement options. And D. And they are often necessary when the standard policy limits are insufficient. Option C. Question 15. What is the primary purpose of a homeowner's policy's insuring agreement? A. To list the premiums owed by the policyholder. B. To outline the specific perils covered by the policy. C. To define the conditions under which claims will be paid. D. To detail the exclusions that apply to the policy. Answer: B. Explanation: the primary purpose of the insuring agreement in a homeowner's policy is to outline the specific perils covered. It serves as the foundation for the policy, explaining what losses are insured and under what conditions. While conditions for claims option C and exclusions option D are critical components of the policy, they are detailed in separate sections. The premiums owed option A are included in the declarations but not within the insuring agreement itself. Question 16. Which of the following scenarios would most likely be covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy's personal liability coverage? A. A guest slips and falls in the homeowner's driveway and is injured. B. The homeowner accidentally damages a neighbor's property while trimming their tree. C. A family member intentionally damages a friend's property during a party. D. The homeowner's dog bites a delivery person on the property. Answer A. Explanation. A guest slipping and falling in the homeowner's driveway and being injured would typically be covered under the personal liability coverage of a homeowner's insurance policy. This coverage protects against claims for bodily injury to others. The damage caused by the homeowner to a neighbor's property, option B, may also be covered, but claims for intentional damage, option C, and injuries caused by a pet, option D, often depend on the specific terms of the policy and might not be covered unless there are specific endorsements or provisions. Question 17. Which of the following best describes actual cash value as it pertains to homeowners' insurance claims? A. The replacement cost of an item without depreciation. B. The market value of an item at the time of loss. C. The original purchase price minus depreciation at the time of the claim. D. The estimated value determined by a professional appraiser. Answer C. Explanation. Actual cash value (SCV) refers to the original purchase price of an item minus depreciation at the time of the claim. This means the payout is based on the item's value after accounting for wear and tear. Replacement cost, option A, refers to the cost to replace an item without considering depreciation. Market value, option B, may fluctuate based on various factors, and a professional appraisal, option D, is not necessarily used in determining a CV for claims under standard policies. Question 18. Mr. Roberts is considering a renter's insurance policy after moving into an apartment. Which of the following coverages should he prioritize in his policy? A. Coverage for personal property against theft and damage. B. Coverage for structural damage to the apartment building. C. Liability coverage for damages caused by other residents. D. Coverage for improvements made to the rental unit. Answer A. Explanation. Mr. Roberts should prioritize coverage for personal property against theft and damage, as renter's insurance is primarily designed to protect personal belongings within a rented space. Coverage for structural damage, option B, is the landlord's responsibility and not covered by renter's insurance. Liability coverage for damages caused by other residents, option C, typically falls under the landlord's insurance. Coverage for improvements made to the rental unit, option D, is important but secondary to protecting personal property. Question 19. When reviewing their homeowner's insurance policy, which of the following should homeowners focus on to understand their potential out-of-pocket costs during a claim? A. The endorsements included in the policy. B. The policy's deductible amount. C. The estimated premium costs. D. The total coverage limits on the policy. Answer B. Explanation. Homeowners should focus on the policy's deductible amount to understand their potential out-of-pocket costs during a claim. The deductible is the amount the policyholder is responsible for before the insurance company pays for a claim, while endorsements, option A, and coverage limits, option D, are important for understanding what is covered. They do not directly relate to out-of-pocket expenses. Estimated premium costs, option C, pertain to the ongoing cost of the policy rather than the cost incurred when filing a claim. Question 20. Which of the following is a primary consideration when evaluating the need for additional endorsements on a homeowner's insurance policy? A. The homeowner's overall debt-to-income ratio. B. The value of high-risk items, such as jewelry or collectibles. C. The number of insurance claims filed in the past. D. The age of the home and its construction materials. Answer B. Explanation. The value of high-risk items, such as jewelry or collectibles, is a primary consideration when evaluating the need for additional endorsements on a homeowner's insurance policy. Standard policies often have coverage limits for such items, and endorsements can provide additional protection to cover their full value, while debt-to-income ratio, option A, past claims, option C, and the home's age and materials, option D, are factors in the overall risk assessment. They do not specifically pertain to the need for endorsements related to personal property coverage. Question 21. Which of the following types of coverage is specifically designed to protect against losses from identity theft under a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Personal liability coverage. B. Medical payments coverage. C. Scheduled personal property coverage. D. Identity theft protection endorsement. Answer D. Explanation. The identity theft protection endorsement is specifically designed to cover losses associated with identity theft, such as expenses incurred to restore one's identity. Personal liability coverage, option A, addresses bodily injury or property damage claims, while medical payments coverage, option B, covers medical expenses for injuries to others. Scheduled personal property coverage. Option C pertains to high-value items but does not specifically address identity theft. Question 22. Mr. Johnson's home was damaged due to a severe storm. Which of the following factors will primarily determine whether he can file a claim for the damage under his homeowner's insurance policy? A. The presence of a deductible in the policy. B. Whether the storm was classified as a natural disaster. C. The specific perils covered in his policy. D. The age of his home at the time of the storm. Answer. C. Explanation. The specific perils covered in Mr. Johnson's policy will primarily determine whether he can file a claim for the storm damage. Homeowners' insurance policies vary in their coverage of perils. If the storm damage is due to a peril that is not covered, such as certain types of flooding, a claim may be denied, while deductibles, option A, and the classification of the storm, option B, are important. They do not influence the underlying coverage. The age of the home, option D, is not relevant to the claim itself but may affect premiums. Question 23. Which of the following is an important factor in underwriting that insurance companies assess to determine homeowners' insurance premiums? A. The homeowner's employment status. B. The claims history of the property. C. The number of pets in the household. D. The neighborhood's average household income. Answer. B. Explanation. The claims history of the property is a critical factor in underwriting for homeowners' insurance premiums. A history of frequent claims may indicate higher risk, leading to increased premiums, while employment status, option A, the number of pets, option C, and neighborhood income, option D, may be considered in some contexts. They are not as directly impactful on premium calculations as the property's claims history. Question 24. In the context of a homeowner's insurance policy, what is the primary purpose of the declarations page? A. To list the claims history of the insured. B. To detail the specific perils covered by the policy. C. To provide a summary of coverage limits, deductibles, and premiums. D. To outline the conditions for policy cancellation. Answer. C. Explanation. The declarations page serves as a summary of the coverage limits, deductibles, and premiums associated with the homeowner's insurance policy. It provides essential information regarding the policyholder and property, but does not detail specific perils, option B, or claims history, option A. Policy cancellation conditions, option D, are usually found in the policy conditions section, not the declarations page. Question 25. Which scenario illustrates a situation that may not be covered under a typical homeowner's insurance policy? A. Damage caused by a fire in the kitchen. B. Theft of personal items from the home during a break-in. C. Damage caused by a flood from heavy rainfall. D. Vandalism to the exterior of the home. Answer. C. Explanation. Damage caused by a flood from heavy rainfall is typically not covered under a standard homeowner's insurance policy unless the homeowner has a separate flood insurance policy. Fire damage, option A, theft, option B, and vandalism, option D, are usually covered perils under most homeowners' insurance policies. Understanding the limitations of standard coverage is essential for homeowners to ensure adequate protection. Question 26. Which of the following statements about liability coverage in a homeowner's insurance policy is accurate? A. It covers injuries sustained by the homeowner. B. It provides protection against claims for bodily injury or property damage to others. C. It does not cover medical payments for guests injured on the property. D. It only applies if the incident occurs on the homeowner's property. Answer. B. Explanation. Liability coverage in a homeowner's insurance policy provides protection against claims for bodily injury or property damage to others. This coverage typically extends beyond the homeowner's property, meaning it can cover incidents that occur off the premises as well. It does not cover injuries to the homeowner, option A, but may cover medical payments for guests, option C. Thus, it is crucial for homeowners to understand the scope of their liability coverage. Question 27. When evaluating risk reduction strategies for homeowners insurance, which of the following is the most effective? A. Increasing the policy deductible. B. Installing security systems and smoke detectors. C. Shopping for multiple insurance quotes. D. Avoiding high-value purchases. Answer. B. Explanation. Installing security systems and smoke detectors is one of the most effective risk reduction strategies for homeowners insurance. These measures can reduce the likelihood of theft and fire, leading to potential discounts on premiums. Increasing the deductible, option A, may lower premiums but does not necessarily reduce risk. Shopping for quotes, option C, is beneficial for cost comparison while avoiding high-value purchases. Option D may limit coverage needs rather than directly reducing risk. Question 28. Mr. and Mrs. Lee are reviewing their homeowners insurance policy and discover a gap in their coverage. What is the most effective step they can take to address this issue? A. Cancel their existing policy and start anew. B. Contact their insurance agent to discuss adding necessary endorsements. C. Increase their premium payments. D. Reduce the amount of coverage on less valuable items. Answer. B. Explanation. The most effective step for Mr. and Mrs. Lee to address gaps in their coverage is to contact their insurance agent to discuss adding necessary endorsements. This proactive approach allows them to customize their policy to better fit their needs. Simply cancelling the policy, option A, might lead to losing coverage altogether, while increasing premium payments, option C, without changing the policy doesn't resolve coverage issues. Reducing coverage on less valuable items, option D, could potentially leave them underinsured. Question 29. Which of the following conditions is most likely to trigger a homeowner's insurance policy's exclusion for wear and tear? A. Damage to a roof from a severe storm. B. Cracks in the foundation due to poor construction. C. Water damage from a burst pipe. D. Damage to appliances from age and lack of maintenance. Answer. D. Explanation. Damage to appliances from age and lack of maintenance is most likely to trigger an exclusion for wear and tear. Homeowners insurance policies typically do not cover losses resulting from normal deterioration or maintenance neglect. Storm damage, option A, and water damage from a burst pipe, option C, are generally covered, while foundation cracks due to poor construction, option B, may fall under specific exclusions depending on the policy. Question 30. In North Carolina, which of the following is a requirement for homeowners insurance policies regarding the claims process? A. All claims must be reported within 30 days of the incident. B. Insurers must respond to a claim within 15 business days. C. The insured must provide written proof of loss within 60 days. D. All claims must be settled within 90 days of reporting. Answer. B. Explanation. In North Carolina, insurers must respond to a claim within 15 business days after receiving it. This requirement is part of fair claims settlement practices to ensure prompt handling of claims. While it is advisable to report claims quickly, option A, and provide proof of loss, option C, specific timeframes may vary. There is no universal rule mandating that all claims must be settled within 90 days, option D. Understanding these timelines helps homeowners navigate the claims process effectively.